TGIF, everybody. It is chamber check-in time, and today we get to talk with Candace Carlson, realtor and vice president of our ambassador program from Coldwell Banker, Candace Carlson. Hi, Candace.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
I'm awesome.
Good.
I'm looking forward to our conversation and diving into the real estate industry and learning more about your history of work. But first, I get to thank our sponsor, Delta Dental of Idaho. You know, Delta Dental of Idaho, they're the experts in dental insurance. They provide best-in-class customer service, and they have benefits designed and backed by the largest networks of dentists in the country. And so with that, I get to show a fun little tooth truth from their fun factoid from their Tooth Truth series. Easy for me to say. Here we go.
At Delta Dental of Idaho, we have 3 characteristics: simple, helpful, and trusted. We're simple because we understand the benefits and help you understand the benefits. We're helpful by providing the information that you need to get out to your employees. We're trusted because we've been around for over 50 years and will continue to be here.
Thank you, Delta Dental. And now I get to introduce Candace Carlson. Hey, what's going on over there at Coldwell Banker?
Coldwell Banker-Tomlinson. Well, today actually is pretty quiet. I think everybody went on vacation, but it's a busy time. There's, as everyone knows, they read in all the papers and on the news. You know, we've got some issues with low inventory and more buyers and people coming in from out of state and just a lot of things. So it's a busy time, and it can also be a stressful time.
I can only imagine, you know, being in the market for a home right now, being a buyer, trying to navigate, you know, the quick responses and the low inventory. But it is what it is, and thankfully you're there to help them,
Well,
right?
Yep, right. I'm here.
Yep. So, Candace, tell us about your history in the real estate industry. When did you get your start, and why?
Well, when I graduated from high school, I went to beauty school and I became a hairstylist. That was back in the 60s, and I did that for a very long time, working my way all the way up to having my own salon. And then in the 80s, I was born in Idaho. I was born in Twin Falls. So in the 80s, I came home. My girls were, you know, out of the nest, and so I came home. And actually, what I wanted to do was to go work on a cruise line for a year, but I didn't have a second language. So at that time, which was a requirement, so I just went to work for a company here called Idaho Barber and Beauty, which was a namestay here in Boise for years, but they've since been bought out. And I worked for them for several years, and then I ended up going back to the Seattle area in 1995. And so then I was working with different distributors and salons and different things and doing education and stuff. And then in 1995, they restructured and I actually lost my job. So I just kind of was hanging low, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And in August of that year, my daughter was in a bad boating accident. So I spent the rest of the year literally getting her back on her feet. And then, of course, you know how they say, oh, you love to look at houses. Oh, you love people. Oh, you'd make a great real estate agent. You know, that's what always happens. So I'm like, okay. So I went to beauty school and I got my license in 1999. And in the Seattle market, and of course went through the crash and short sales, foreclosures, all that kind of stuff. And then in 2011, I decided that I needed to come home because I had family here. My mother was elderly and such. So I've been here. I came here and went to work with Coldwell Banker. I interviewed with 3 different companies and chose Coldwell Banker. And I've been there with them 10 years this month. So
Wow.
This is my life now. Real estate.
Wow. That's incredible. Thanks for sharing your story. real estate and being a professional in the real estate industry takes time to build up a clientele, to develop trust with your clients. And Candace, I got to tell you, if there's anybody out there looking to work with a skilled, knowledgeable real estate professional in the area, Candace would be a great fit.
Thank you, Paul.
Absolutely. And your work ethic that I've seen here with the ambassador program, and now you're vice president of the group, and next year you'll be president, says a lot about just your the way you care about your community and the people that you work around. It's elevated, Candace.
Well, I think it's important, no matter what kind of business you're in, real estate or financial or whatever, it's important to know what's going on in your area and stuff, which is why I became involved with the chamber. I was in the chamber when I was in Washington State, and I love the ambassador program. Again, I did that in the Washington State, so it's near and dear to me. So I guess you're stuck with me for a while.
That's great. Love to. So, hey, let's talk about real estate for a little bit. You mentioned that we've all seen the low inventory in the news and all the inventory getting gobbled up quick with cash offers. Today's July 2nd, 2021, and you guys sell, Coldwell Banker-Tomlinson Group sells residential, commercial, luxury, multifamily, all of it. What's your specialty, and what's the market looking like right now?
Well, I work mostly residential. I work with first-time home buyers. I work with a lot of the seniors. Here in Boise, we've got a lot of 55 developments coming in finally. And 10 years ago, that was kind of one of my questions, was like, well, why don't we have anything for the over 55ers? And since then, there have been some things that have developed. And I just found out today, I'm kind of excited, is just up the street from my office on Hill Road, there's going to be 113 homes in a gated 55 community. Oh, so, yeah. So, and I think that's where a lot of people are directing. It's not just old people that downsize and go places, but there's a lot of people in their late 50s and 60s that want to be part of a community. And of course, we've got the big Trilogy Valor that'll be going out on Kuna and Culverdale, which is out there. And that's going to be 940 houses in the 55 Valor. And then they're also going to be building additional homes all around the golf course out there. So when all is said and done, there's going to be about 2,400 houses out there in that area by that Falcon Crest golf course.
I saw that and very excited about that investment. That's what we need with this growing community, is more places for people to live. And thanks for sharing those new opportunities. What is your territory? Are you the entire state? I was looking at your website today, and I saw all the listings, and my mouth was watering over those beautiful farm opportunities in Buell and in Ketchum and Sun Valley and Riggins, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So what's going on in your territory?
Well, my territory is pretty much the Treasure Valley, Ada County, Canyon County, around the river. I have sold a couple things in Twin Falls because they were for friends. But you know what? I think that it's really important that you know where you're working, you know all the ins and outs, you know what's happening. So if I had someone that wanted to be up in Coeur d'Alene or wanted to be in Idaho Falls, then I would hook up with another Coldwell Banker agent and work with her and let her lead the pack. Okay.
Well, this morning I was watching the news, and I heard a reporter say, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but and the median home price in New York right now was $999,999.99, which was just crazy to me. What's the median home price here in the Treasure Valley?
Well, actually, in May of this year, just a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, the Ada County median now is $500,000, which is just unbelievable. It's more than doubled in the last 7-8 years. Wow. And in Canyon County, it's not far behind. It's in the 400s. So Yeah, it's getting a little bit tougher. You know, a lot of people are moving here because of the affordability, and all the activity and stuff, of course, has driven up prices and stuff. So it's a little bit more challenging, especially for people that live here and might be first-time home buyers. But it's always better to, you know, if you can possibly buy, then, you know, why would you pay a renter's mortgage when you can have your own?
Right. Well, another thing I wanted to point out here to our listeners, and we got to talk about it a little bit today, earlier on our conversation before we went live, was the fact that the brokerage that you work for has been around a long, long time. And they've been supporting the chamber since 1990. They've been members as far as I can see. And I think that's really cool. And that shows a lot about the community focus that your brokerage has. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, Coldwell Banker was originated, the very first office was in San Francisco right after the big earthquake. And there was a gentleman by the name of, his last name was Coldwell, and he opened up the first office there. And then, you know, over the years, it started to grow through California. And then I think it was like 1927 or something like that, they opened their first office in Arizona. And so since that time, you know, they've expanded. And today, Coldwell Banker has over 3,000 offices, and we are actually in 42 countries. So if you want to go buy a house in Spain or Barcelona or London or wherever, chances are there's a Coldwell Banker office.
That's cool. I noticed that there's 4 branches to serve the local Treasure Valley community. How many are there in the state of Idaho?
Yeah, so here in the Treasure Valley, we have an office in Nampa, downtown Boise, Meridian, and then I'm in the Eagle office. We just maintained an office, a small brokerage in Idaho Falls. And the reason that came around because we had a wonderful agent who worked here, and her husband got transferred to Idaho Falls. So she was kind of doing the satellite thing. And so Coldwell found an office to purchase, and so she works there. And then we also have a couple of agents who are satellite agents in Twin Falls. So we actually have, 6, I guess.
Okay, so you guys have opportunities all over the state for people to connect.
Yep.
Okay. Let me make sure I cover everything here. We talked a little bit about the real estate market and what's hot right now. You shared a little bit about the history of Coldwell Banker-Tomlinson Group. Hey, how many realtors are here locally that represent Coldwell Banker?
I believe we have over 250 between the 4, somewhere in there. Each office has little 50 or 50, you know, different ones. A lot of our agents have been, you know, with us for a very long time. Like I said, I'm going on 10 years. But, you know, a lot of people don't know that Coldwell Banker also owns its own real estate school. So we have a school, and, you know, a lot of people go that, and then we can, you know, address them as to whether or not they want to become part of the family. So that's kind of, you know, what's going. We try to stay in the community. We have different things that we do. We try to be a good player. Yeah, integrity is very important to us. Buyers reps, sellers reps, code of ethics. You know, the name realtor is different than a real estate agent, because not all real estate agents are realtors, and realtors mean that you are a member of the National Association of Realtors. So we, at Coldwell Banker, it's a requirement because of the ethics and, you know, all of the things that they feel, the guidelines we should be involved in. So Coldwell Banker, we are realtors, and there are realtors throughout the valley, but there are some that are real estate agents, and they choose not to belong to NAR.
Gotcha. Well, that just says a lot about you guys are operating on the cream of the crop, right? You've got the right people with the right ethics, doing the right thing when no one's looking. I'll share a little personal experience really quick. I tried to sell my own home by myself a long time ago, and I couldn't be there to show the house. I didn't know how to market it. I thought I would just put it up, list it, and then
the buyers would come.
Well, I couldn't do it, Candace, and I needed help. And I'm so glad that there's realtors like you that can help, sellers along the way. Because I don't know what I would do when you get into closing and have to do all that paperwork and make sure I cross every T and dot every I.
Well, yeah, I mean, purchasing a home is one of the biggest investments most people will ever make. And, your contracts and stuff are legal documents. So there is chances of being sued or different, different things that can come up. So you need someone that understands the contract, that can guide you, either a buyer or a seller, and that knows how to negotiate on your behalf, which other way. Because right now we have so many multiple offers that can become more of an issue with that. So I just wanted to share one thing with you, if I could, because I was watching a podcast the other day, and this was something that came up. The number one question to Google right now is, are we having another bubble because of what we had in the 2000s? And I can equivocally say we are not. And two of the reasons are, one, we have demand, which we didn't have in 2006 and 5. We had more houses than we had buyers. Two, the banking industry, lending industry, has become extremely stringent with your guidelines. If anybody has tried to purchase a home or whatever in the last couple of years, they know there's a lot of hoops to jump through, and they don't always qualify. So because of those things, and because of the lack of inventory and stuff, it's pretty well known throughout the industry that there is not going to be a housing bubble. Prices are not going to drop. You can buy a property today and be rest assured it's not going to drop $50,000. I think right now we're seeing things to slow down a little bit, just because we've had that big, huge surge of people coming in. But overall, this is something that we're going to have to deal with, low inventory and stuff, for the next couple of years. And as long as the interest rates stay lower, which they'll creep a little bit up, but they'll stay lower. And we have over 5 million houses that we don't have in the entire United States. We are short over 5 million houses.
Wow.
For all the buyers. Yeah. So we're in this for a while. It's gonna take a while to. Of course, a perfect market is when it's, you put your house on the market, it sits on the market for 30 days, you have a buyer, everything is more of an even keel. Right now, it's not. It's the sellers are in the driving seat, and the buyers are just, trying to scramble to find the perfect house.
Wow. Thanks for that update. I know that's really important information, and everybody's talking about real estate. In fact, our leadership conference this year, most likely the theme will be related to all things real estate. So I'd love for you to come and be a part of that discussion as well. Candace, thanks again for taking your time to have a conversation with me. Thank you so much for your investment in the Chamber, not only with your membership, but with your time. There are a few ambassadors that are a part of our program that really elevate the game, and you're one of them, Candace.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. We would love to duplicate what you do and instill that energy that you have and passion for the business community.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate your kind words. I love the Chamber, and I love my job, and I love Coldwell Banker. So I'm a happy girl.
Awesome. Well, you enjoy the long weekend, the 4th of July weekend with friends and family, and I look forward to our next conversation, Candace.
Okay, thank you. It will be soon. Bye.
Bye.